In the small town of Riverton, whispers of eerie occurrences drifted through the halls of Riverton High. It all started with the computers, their screens flickering, randomly shutting down, and often repeating strange yet familiar phrases. At first, students brushed it off as a technical glitch, but it escalated when senior Alex Manning discovered something disturbingly uncanny while working late one night in the computer lab. Alex had always found solace in technology, spending countless hours coding and gaming. A self-proclaimed geek, he took pride in his knowledge of not only how to use machines but how they worked. Everything changed one fateful evening after the annual Halloween dance. He lingered in the empty lab, the fluorescent lights buzzing softly overhead as shadows lurked in the corners. His friends had gone home after the dance, leaving him with a vague unease that something was off with the recently upgraded computers. As Alex booted up a computer, he noticed it was displaying a bizarre message in the corner of the screen. "I see you." He chuckled nervously, figuring it was some road test feature from the school's poorly executed update, perhaps an Easter egg left by tech-savvy seniors who thought themselves clever. Yet, as he continued working, he noticed a few facts eerily aligning. The phrase repeated itself, not only on the screen but also echoed in his headphones, a whisper fading in and out, "I see you." Shrugging off the chills creeping up his spine, he decided to dig deeper into the system, curious about what could elicit such an eerie response. It wasn't long before he discovered a series of old files buried deep in the computer. They dated back to the early 2000s, originating from a tech club that mysteriously disbanded after several students reported odd behaviors with the computers, their laughter tinged with fear. Among the scattered files, Alex found a long-forgotten project titled Ghost in the Machine. Before he could comprehend its contents, the lights flickered and the room temperature dropped sharply. His screen flickered violently, then, without warning, it shut down. Heart racing, Alex waited a moment before hitting the power button again. The moment the computer turned back on, he was greeted not only by the usual desktop but also an unsettling flickering image, a ghostly face trapped within the pixels. Staring back at him was a teen's face, their features distorted but recognizable. It was the school's former tech club president, Jason, who had vanished under mysterious circumstances just 2 weeks before graduation, leaving the whole town to speculate about his fate. The origin of the urban legend lingered at the back of Alex's mind, a constant reminder of the uncertainty even the most logical minds couldn't escape. Suddenly, the sound of static erupted from the speakers, swirling into chaotic whispers. "Help me," echoed sweetly and sinisterly. Terrified, Alex yanked the plug from the wall, but the sound wouldn't stop. He bolted from the room, slamming the door behind him. The next day was a blur, each moment tinged with dread. He told his friends, Sarah and Eli, but they laughed, dismissing his fears as mere imagination amplified by ghost stories from Halloween. "Are you sure you weren't just really tired?" Eli joked, flicking Alex's arm. But deeper inside, Alex could sense something was wrong. He felt a palpable connection. Jason's anguish hovered in the air like a haunting melody, begging for acknowledgement. That evening, Alex couldn't shake off the feeling that he needed to return to the lab. The urge gnawed at him until it became unbearable. He found himself once again seated in front of the cursed computer, as the haunting aura wrapped around him like a fog. The very atmosphere seemed alive, the shadows dancing violently in the corners of his vision. He hesitated, then forced himself to power up the computer. And there it was, the face flickering again but clearer this time, its mouth moved, forming words he could almost comprehend. "Find me," it urged, its voice echoing from the depths of the corrupted file. Alex felt a chill wash over him, a premonition whispering that Jason was trapped, his spirit bound in code. A wild notion seized him. He began typing furiously, trying to uncover Jason's last project, seeking not only to help but to free whatever restless spirit lingered in the machine. The screen revealed a cryptic code interlaced with digital shadows, screaming to be unraveled. Time seemed to stretch endlessly as he dismantled lines of encryption. Suddenly, the ghostly visage grew brighter, turning malevolent. "No, you have to stop," the face screamed. Alex hesitated, but something deeper urged him on. Pressing at the final key, he initiated a command he hoped would set Jason free. The entire lab rumbled, lights flickering dangerously, and as the screen went black, an icy wind swirled around him, drawing a breathless gasp from his lips. Moments later, silence fell. Heart racing, Alex blinked against the utter darkness. The face was gone, but so too were the haunted whispers. He shivered, sensing a void now echoing in the aftermath of having possibly released more than just a ghost. He could only wonder if he had freed Jason, or unleashed something far more sinister. Weeks passed with no sign of the supernatural, but Alex felt a growing weight on his shoulders, a whisper of dread always lurking, reminding him that the technology he loved had held spirits beyond human comprehension. He never returned to the computer lab, for he had learned the hard way that some mysteries are better left untouched, buried deep within lines of code and the flickering glow of technology. Haunted vessels retaining secrets of forgotten souls.